Hello guys, so today I would like to show you the importance of the model selection in Transkr. For this I have already prepared a project here. You can see it here. It has two tracks, one audio clip and one virtual instrument track, so basically a MIDI track. And here you can see the playlist view. So the idea is basically to take a stem, some audio recording, and convert it to a MIDI file that you can use later for revoicing purposes. Yeah, I will just briefly play the audio clip so you get an idea of what it sounds like. Okay, so it's basically a bass line. Here you have the Transkr interface. You have the default settings here. It's using the six-string instrument, six-string guitar as the default instrument, and the harmonics parameter it's set at 1. So this is one of the major parameters of the model that controls the behavior of the algorithm. The other parameters are down here, but we'll ignore them for now. If you select a particular model that you would like to use for the transcription, all you have to do now is to take the audio clip and drag it over the green button and just let it go, and it will start the transcription. So let's first have a quick look at the settings used for the transcription. So here you can select which tracks are going to go into the MIDI file. We don't want to have any chords, so all we want to do, so if you will have a single line melody like this one, and you would like to figure out what is the main melody of the performance, I recommend you to use the melody part. Since it is only a single line melody, we can use monophonic here. Slice a transient will make sure that repeated notes are going to be cut at transient, so basically at onsets, and this is what we want. We do not want to limit the note length. And another important parameter here is remove silence. So if you check this, it will ignore all this silence at the beginning of the audio track, and the MIDI file is going to start at the first onset. This may create some sync issues between the MIDI track and the audio track, and you would have to manually try to find a good starting point for the MIDI track. If you do not want to bother with this, just leave this unchecked. So once we have selected the tracks that we want, we can go ahead, drag and drop, and just wait a few seconds. And the window appears with the MIDI track. This is the wave track that I was using for the audio clip. And you have a text file with some metadata. If we open the text file, you will see some information in it. So all we did is to transcribe the melody here, right? And an important thing is the tempo. So it says 120 BPM. In our default project, the BPM is set to 140. So if we want this transcription to be correctly aligned to the audio, we would need to change this value to 120. So you can do it yourself. So first of all, how do you get the MIDI file into your virtual instrument? You just take the MIDI file and drag it over here and drop it here. And from the tracks, you select the track that you want to be associated with this virtual instrument. This is the melody track. Let's accept it, and there you go. Here you can see the transcribed track. So as we can see, there are a lot of high notes in there. Yes, here. And this is probably not what we wanted. We can play it back and see what happens. So first thing that you can notice is that it's too fast. It's because the BPM value is set to 140. Let's change it to 120. Play it again. Now the tempo is correct, but these notes are way too high and probably might be wrong as well. Are they Fs, D? Yeah. So why is that? And you might be disappointed at that point and thinking like, oh, this thing is not working, right? But the issue is that you might have selected the wrong model parameters here. So we have a bass track here. So let's change the parameters to bass. And you actually have the possibility to draw the harmonic pattern profile here by holding the mouse and actually telling which harmonic has which strength. So if you, for instance, have a certain profile and you have the fundamental being the dominant frequency, but you have, let's say, the third sticking out, and maybe the fifth, so you could basically do that and try to see if this model gives you a better result. But for now, let's just go with the default presets here, and if I select the bass track, some of the parameters will change and the harmonics value is going to go to 2. So it looks like the harmonics are much stronger towards the higher frequencies, right? And I'm not going to change any of the parameters here, so let's keep them all at 0. So now let's go back, do the same thing, take the bass track, drag it over, have it appear here, pull it over the instrument, take the melody, and here you go. Now you see a completely different story. Now play this back. And now all of a sudden this sounds actually like the original recording. So let's play them both together. And let's change the view here. And as you can see here, if we go back, as I mentioned before, the MIDI track starts at the exact same position as the onset of the first note. Now let's play them back together and see what happens. One or two more things I would like to point out here. Yeah, so if you want this to be quantized, you have to activate beats. And in here, you must make sure that you have selected meter. Then going to melody, you will have the option to enable quantize. And this will quantize the note onsets and the duration of the notes according to the metric level that you have selected here. I will take the fastest level, which is a 16th note. All right, so and let's do it again just for fun. You might not see a huge difference, but let's just do it. So drag it back in, choose melody, accept. Let's have a look at the file. You might see down here maybe that it appears on a more regular pattern. So it's because it's aligned with the beats that were detected from the recording, including the BPM. And now if we play back the song or the stem, now you can see that the actual, I mean, first of all, you can see that the bars are now quite consistent. There's a slight offset here, slight delay, but it's consistent all over the entire piece, which means that's the correct BPM value for this stem, right? Okay. And maybe one last thing I wanted to show you in this video is how to import the BPM value. So let's set the BPM value to something else, like 140 as we had before. And now what we can do, we can take this file and drag it into the channel strip here, select a new track, and then choose the tempo. We don't need any of this, and we can just select a MIDI out track. And when we accept that, the BPM value is going to be imported into the DAW. We can basically delete this track after this because it's useless. So yes, so that's it for the video. I hope you have learned something from it. And as I said, it's very important that you eventually experiment with the model parameter that you have here, starting with the harmonics. If you do not obtain a transcription the first time maybe you run the algorithm, so you have the option just to play around with it and find the optimal settings for your purpose in your file, and then you can just go ahead and resynthesize the MIDI file using any instrument that you want, and you will have something you can definitely work with. So enjoy, and I hope this was helpful. Take care.
I am aggressive.